Have you ever wondered what it really takes to be an entrepreneur? What characteristics do entrepreneurs have that nobody else has? Because I got to tell you, they are a breed apart from everybody else. My name is Marianne DeNovellis, and you are in the right place with the Six-Figure Mastermind. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Hey, it's Marianne DeNovellis here. Today we're going to talk about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Now let's think about this for a moment. Entrepreneur is a big, scary word for a lot of people. It means I'm in charge of my own schedule, I'm in charge of my own pay, I'm in charge of my own time, I'm in charge of everything that it means to bring an income into my family. And that's part of the reason why a very small percentage of our people in our country actually jump into entrepreneurship, even though that's what our country was actually founded on. Before there were people that were here to work for, there were people who started the work, the entrepreneurs, people who started and said, I want this business, or I want to create this, or I want to solve this problem. And entrepreneurs, if you have seen anything around social media nowadays, you know that entrepreneurship is coming back, and it's coming back in full swing. So maybe you're like one of our friends on YouTube that says, I want to know how to be an entrepreneur. I want to jump into it for myself. I want to create this business for myself. I want to be the master of my time. I want to be my own boss. Well, first you're going to know it's going to take a lot of work. I know, that's kind of a fun word, huh? We went to entrepreneurship because we were already having a lot of work. But entrepreneurship is the best kind of work. And here's what I mean by that. As an entrepreneur, you're going to need to be able to do all of the elbow grease stuff. You're going to have to be able to wear the accounting hat. You're going to have to be able to wear the scheduling hat. You're going to have to be able to wear the content management hat. You're going to have to wear the production hat. You're going to have to be able to wear every single hat that is part of your business. And once you've mastered that skill, you get step number 2. Step number 2 is one of my favorite parts of entrepreneurship, and you'll pretty soon understand why. Step number 2 is to hire out. Hire out what is not your passion. You know, and every entrepreneur that I have watched or observed, and in my experience as an entrepreneur, there are things that I love and know how to do. And at the same time, there are things that I don't love and things that I know still need to be done, but that I can hire out to someone else. One of the most valuable things you can do as an entrepreneur is get yourself an assistant. Someone who can help you with your scheduling, someone who can help you with your books, someone who can help you book your time. Once you find yourself finding that you have got so much on your plate, yet you're finding that the passion of the entrepreneurship is dwindling, most people at that point will actually quit and go back to the job. And maybe you've heard job as described as a job. It's just over broke. A lot of people, they're not broke financially. They're broken here or they're broken here because they gave up and they couldn't stand up under the weight of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship means you get to have your own business and you get to create your own hours, but it also means you're going to have to put forth a lot of the work. And here's the beautiful step. When you can get to that point where you find that your passion is driving you, yet you feel you have all of these things that you are bogged down with, that's when you have outgrown that first level and you get to graduate to business owner. There's a difference between being an entrepreneur and a business owner. When that business owner becomes your next step, you know you've started to hire out some of your processes. Maybe you've hired out your photographer. Maybe you've hired out your video team. Maybe you hired out your editing team. Maybe you hired out your copywriting team. Maybe you hired out a new building so that you can be in a magnificent building instead of just your home. The more that you can hire out, not only the more lives will you bless with providing more jobs, but you'll also be able to do more of what you love, which is why you started in the first place. Step number 3 of being an entrepreneur is this concept of ready, fire, aim. And really that doesn't make a lot of sense to people who don't know what I'm talking about. So here's what I mean. When you have a missile on a rocket or an airplane, the missile has what's called a guidance system on it. A guidance system means that the missile can change routes no matter where in its trajectory it is. That means you can program the destination of your rocket after you've fired it. Now, how does that translate into business? So many people will get held back in their business by this thing called analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis means I'm thinking too much about the logistics of what I want to do that I've lost vision of actually what it is. Analysis paralysis is slamming on those brakes when you know that what you need to do is take the next step forward. When you know what you want but don't know the how, launch what you do know. Start what you do have. Create what you are building and start from that foundation of building with what you've got so that the how can fall into place. The last step of being an entrepreneur, a rockstar entrepreneur, and the characteristics of an entrepreneur is that you are training up your replacements. And we've talked about that a little bit before, about hiring out what you know isn't working for you, what you started with doing, and that you now no longer do because you're so focused on writing your passion. Be willing to train up your replacements. Rewind to early America, 17 and 1800s. We're looking at blacksmiths, we're looking at cobblers, we're looking at leather workers, we're looking at all sorts of craftsmen who trained and brought up their proteges in what they were doing. If you were a blacksmith, you were a blacksmith because you loved to be a blacksmith. If you were a cobbler because you loved to make shoes and you had a passion for that design. If you were a dressmaker, you did it because you loved to make dresses. If you were a cotton baron, you did it at one point because cotton fascinated you. And maybe now it's time to train up your replacement. This is what it means to be an entrepreneur. The characteristic of an entrepreneur is leaving a legacy, leaving something that outlives you. And one of the best ways to do that is to train up your eventual replacements. And that doesn't mean that you're leaving your business. It doesn't mean that your business is over and through. It just gives you the capability to have your legacy of what you have built continue on so that you can level up to your next big calling. An entrepreneur knows their purpose in life. And that's a big statement. That's a pretty audacious claim to stake, that an entrepreneur knows their purpose. But I'm going to invite you to step into this understanding with me. Their purpose in life, your purpose in life, is not some big ethereal idea. It's not some waiting for the angels to come down and shed the light on you and say, here is your purpose. That's not how it works. Your purpose in life is your passion. It's what drives you. It's what creates happiness and joy when you accomplish it. So your purpose, maybe now in this moment, you're just starting your entrepreneurial journey. Maybe you're like me and you were a brand new parent and part of your purpose in life is changing diapers. Yeah, that's part of my purpose in life right now because I've got a 2-year-old that needs her bum to be clean. But it's not going to be my purpose in life 2 years from now, 4 years from now. My purpose in life is continually evolving. Now, I don't know about you, but in this beautiful state of Utah where we live, we have these amazing seasons that come and go, and maybe in the future we'll be recording our videos from Hawaii, which doesn't have that many seasons because that's where I'm technically from in my heart, right? I want to talk about purpose as when it comes to seasons. In the summertime, we love to wear flip-flops around here. They're easy to put on, easy to take off, and we can just jump in the pool at the moment's notice. Flip-flops have a very specific purpose, but fast forward into fall and winter, they don't really serve that purpose very well. Your purpose continually evolves and it continually changes because you are a being that continually evolves and continually changes. An entrepreneur knows their purpose. They act on their purpose and they help others find their purpose through doing what they love every single day. Okay, now you can start adopting these traits and make them part of who you are as a business owner or an entrepreneur. You've got what it takes. Remember that. Keep in mind that you're going to have to make these a habit every single day until it becomes as natural to you as the sky is blue. Comment below. I want to know what you think is important being an entrepreneur. Hit the subscribe button and we'll talk to you tomorrow.